Welcome to my video.
Hello everybody. Well, I guess it was only a matter of time before I got around to this one. I've actually received a few requests here lately to take a look at this. Now, first of all, I gotta say, when I go into any video, I don't go into any of these breakdowns with any kind of predisposed notion about whether I'm going to debunk it or support it in any way. I always go in with an open mind, and I try to let the facts of the video, all of the facts, the footage, the circumstances surrounding it, the source, let all of that present an argument for me to take a look at and come up to some sort of conclusion. And this one was no different. Now, I've seen this one before, in parts and pieces. I've seen Thinker Thinker's work, and I've seen the work of others. It is definitely a very intriguing footage. It's a very polarizing piece of footage for sure. So this was uploaded back in September 2013 by timber giant Bigfoot, and purportedly shows some form of creature. Now, when going through and going back and looking at his original upload, within just a few seconds of watching that, he says something to me that kind of gives me some red flags right off the bat. Let's take a listen to what he says here.
It's not happening anymore. I thought it was a wood knocker. It's more of that nut breaking sound I heard.
Okay, well, as soon as I hear that he says nut breaking sound, if you're hundreds of feet away from something, I have serious reservations about you being able to differentiate the sound of a nut being broken. All right. To me, this sounds like he's just leading his audience. Okay. Now, something else I want to note here before I go on. He got a lot of requests to upload what we call the uncut or raw footage from this, meaning the unedited footage from his camera uploaded to YouTube so we could see it without any cut points, any graphics or anything else applied to it. And he did that, but it was missing the sound. So that's very interesting to me. He uploads what he calls the uncut footage, and it doesn't have any sound to it. So we don't know if he actually said that there or not, or if that was added later in post-production. But we'll move on from here. Then he goes on to point out an apple tree.
It's an apple tree.
Okay. I guess that's plausible. But still, it kind of looks to me like he's leading his audience. So he's walking along there for a while, and pretty soon he comes up to here. Now, this particular piece of footage is from his uncut footage that he uploaded. M.K. Davis took this and did just a wonderful job of stabilizing this. So I'm going to start letting this play through just a little bit here. So he goes up here and he sees this thing. Again, it doesn't have any sound. He zooms in and he sees that thing there. Now, something's happening right here that I need to address. There's some motion that's happening off to the front of this creature that people are seeing as like ethereal or a cloaked Bigfoot or something of that nature. Well, when I first looked at it, it kind of freaked me out a little bit. And, after watching it a few times, it literally took me 5 or 6 times looking at it to figure out what it was. Now, I'm going to jog it back and forth here a little bit just to kind of let you know what this is. All right, so here's the animal right here. He's kind of leaned over to the right. Now, what he's doing, it looks like he's grabbing a tree sapling. All right, and you're going to see this motion come from the right to left, kind of come right and down left. Right there. You see it come down? There's a little bit of a flash there. Well, what that is, like I said, that's a tree sapling. The flash is caused by the sun glinting off the top or the shiny part of the leaf. All right, now in just a moment here, he's going to let it go, and it's going to go flying back up. He's going to zoom in, and it goes flying back up. There it goes. Again, just a tree sapling. It was laying down. Whatever this is lets it go, and it goes flying back up. He's zoomed way in, probably got some digital zoom causing the distortion there, but it's not a cloaked Bigfoot or anything rift in the space-time continuum or anything like that. It's just a tree sapling. All right, so there's that. Now, one thing I want to note here: take a look at where this creature is. All right, take a look at this deadfall that's right out here in front of him, and you got this big log that kind of goes down like this. All right, this deadfall is in front of him. All right. Keep an eye on that, or keep that to your memory, and we'll come back to that later. All right. So now, one thing you also have to note here: if you go back and look at his footage, he's filming this thing for what seems like several minutes. Okay, he's got quite a bit of footage from this angle showing this creature right here. But then for some reason, somehow, he misses the opportunity where the creature gets up and walks away. You know, he does a wood knock, but he doesn't, you know, you see him do the wood knock and you hear it, but you don't see the creature get up and walk away. All you get is a very small portion where it kind of walks out of sight. That's all you get of the creature getting up and walking away. Okay? Now, remember how I said where this creature was? There he is right there. Here's your deadfall. Okay? Now, after this creature walks away, right, he decides to go up to where it was sitting. Well, take a look at this. Here's this deadfall. Okay, here's this log I pointed out going up and to the right. And you can see what looks like disturbed ground right here, like something was digging. But that's not where he goes. All right? Watch where he goes. He goes up here, takes a look around, looks behind him, makes sure it's not coming up behind him. And then eventually, he goes around to the other side of this deadfall, to where this log right there. That's very interesting. From what I could see earlier, that's not where the creature was. But that's where all the evidence is. And look what's lying there. You have apples, you have some crushed nuts, and you have some rocks. Now, I didn't include one portion from his original footage that shows the creature from behind, like from where he was. He zooms in, and you can hear what sounds like rocks clacking together. But you don't hear any nuts crushing or anything like that. In fact, when those rocks are breaking, you don't even see hardly any motion out of the creature. If you want to go take a look at that, by all means. You know, I think I've raised some red flags here, but, you know, most of that is circumstantial. Okay, I have to admit that. But the fact of the matter is, if you're going to call this thing a Bigfoot, it should probably look like a Bigfoot. Now, and if it wasn't for M.K. Davis's absolutely outstanding work on stabilizing this, I think this would be missed by most people. But let me just play this forward here. There's a very, very short section where it turns its head to the left enough for some detail to emerge. All right? If that's not a snout, then I don't know what that is. You have what looks like an ear here and a snout in the beginnings of a mouth. All right? And here's an even closer look at it. I'm just going to play this forward frame by frame and let you take a look at that. There's the mouth. There's part of the nose. All right. If this is anything real, then it's got to be a bear. All right. This looks like a bear. There is not one single piece of footage, photograph, eyewitness report, artist rendition that describes a Bigfoot as having a snout. So there you go. A lot of red flags there. Now, the things I pointed out earlier, him mentioning the nuts and the apple tree, you know, and then, of course, not having the audio with the what he calls the uncut footage. You can paint your own picture as to why all that occurred. You know, when I'm thinking about this, you know, a story starts to form in my mind. But that, like I said, that's all circumstantial. But the proof is in the video. This is his video, folks. Stabilized by M.K. Davis. And that right there is not the face of a Bigfoot. Thanks for watching.
Have a nice day.